Paranormal Room.
The Paranormal Room.
Have you ever encountered something you couldn't explain?
Ghosts. Were they strangers or were they family?
Cryptids, alien encounters,
Strange animal encounters. Child spirits.
whatever your experience, we want to hear about it.
Email your story to WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com for your chance to share your story on the show. Again, that's WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com.
We're waiting for your story.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Room. I'm Christina Bloom, and Logan Jacobson and I are your hosts for the Paranormal Room at WLTK-DB.com. Let's Talk Radio. And tonight I'm hoping we have a really fun show for you because we're talking about the spirits at the holidays. I do have some events I'd like to share with you. I have a new book release. Woo! A best-selling author I am now.
Hey, congratulations.
Hey. Thank you. I am a contributing author to a book called Divine Feminine Awakening, and we are going to have an online release party on the 28th. I believe that's Wednesday, if my calendar is working right in my head, at 6 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central. Wow, my brain just flipped on that one. Yeah, I can just shoot me a message. I'll send you the link. I didn't have my act together in time to get it into the chat. So that's happening on Wednesday, and I'm super excited about that. And let's see, on January 3rd, I'm doing an online, it's through Zoom, a spiritual channeling for the year. So the light beings are going to come in and share with us what we can expect and maybe give us some hints on getting through the next year with a little more ease. I didn't feel like 2022 was a horrible year, but I know that a lot of other people did. So hopefully we can take a breather in 2023. That would be really nice, right? I have the Northwoods Expo in Plover on January 21st, and I'm teaching a dragon class on the 26th online. The dragon class is online. The in Plover is a Northwoods Health and Wellness Expo. I will be there all day doing readings. And then on the 28th of January, I will be in Eau Claire at the Best Western on Mondovi Road doing another fair, another spirit fair. And that will be from 10 to 5, I believe, on the 28th. So you can stop by and get a psychic reading from me there as well. So that's what I have for the month of January so far. Next week, I might have 16 more things to add to the list. But right now, that's what I have planned in January. So Logan, what do you have coming up in January?
Well, I'm hopefully going to be getting several series started soon on the channel. It's been a trial and a half to try and get this footage from one of the people I recorded with. Not that it's their fault. There's something funky going on with Google Drive. I don't know what's going on.
It's Google Drive.
yeah, pretty much that can answer any issue with Google Drive. Hey, your computer is working. Thanks, Robin.
I think she was talking to me because last show I didn't have camera. I didn't know how to turn it on.
That's right.
So.
But we are also getting closer and closer to that Phasmophobia video with the app's paranormal group.
Awesome.
So that's hopefully we can get that together at some point, and we have decided that one of the episodes of this show will be the live recording of that episode. So definitely let me know in the comments if you want to be part of that or if you just want to see it. It's probably going to happen anyways.
Cool. All right. So we decided to do this show on magical creatures and holiday stories and holiday ghost stories, basically, is what we're talking about. And I had done a little bit of research. I know research is usually your thing. Good to see you too, Maureen. Yeah, everyone's going to give me crap about my camera not working on the last show. So just so you know, it's all good. I can take it. I'm a big girl. So anyway, yeah, about how in Victorian times that was a thing. Like they used to tell ghost stories at Christmas. Why did we stop doing that?
I don't know, and it's people like to act like the Christmas, whatever general winter holiday time is they act like it's not Death Incorporated when the whole winter season is very symbolic of the natural decay and rebirth of things.
Right. Right. That makes sense.
That train of thought got way off track, but I managed to get it back on.
I feel that. You spent the weekend staring at a very large screen. I get it. Kind of scrambles the brain.
I kind of do that day in and day out,
Oh,
honestly.
do you? Okay.
If I'm
All
not
right.
staring at a large screen, I'm staring at the one that's strapped to my face.
Oh, yeah. That is disorienting.
I disagree. I've adapted to it quite well.
Have you? Awesome.
I have. Like, there's only a handful of games that I've ever found that have given me nausea from playing them in VR. Not that this is at all involved in the topic of the show, but beyond the first time playing VR, and I never really got nauseous after that, except for 1 or 2 games.
Well, good for you. If I spin around in the virtual art gallery too fast, I get nauseous. So.
Well, that's because the rendering for the Quest is wanting.
Gotcha.
But
All
on
right.
with the topic. I think I'm done with the announcements.
Okay, so let's start with magical creatures. Let's start with Santa Claus.
Oh, you mean the patron saint of prostitutes?
Yeah.
Not even kidding. Saint Nicholas is listed as patron saint of many things, to include the falsely accused, repentant thieves, pharmacists, archers, unmarried people, and prostitutes.
Okay, you know what caught my attention? Pharmacists.
Pharmacists, yes. I was surprised to find just pharmacists in that list.
Pharmacists, really? Like, did they have pharmacists way back?
Well, I mean,
they had apothecaries.
Apothecaries, that's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Apothecaries, alchemists, that sort of thing.
Okay. That's why I got thrown by pharmacists. Yeah, Robin says real life makes me nauseous at times. Yeah, me too, Robin.
Keith's mentions Krampus with the opposite of Santa in many depictions.
Yeah. I love the Krampus. I have pictures of me with Krampuses at every Paracon I've gone to that has a Krampus. I have a picture of me with the Krampus.
Oh, absolutely. I want to get myself a Krampus costume at some point.
Oh, you'd make an awesome Krampus.
Either that or the Grinch.
I think you'd make an awesome Krampus. I think Krampus is more suited to your personality.
I also have the beard for it, so
you do. You do. You wouldn't even need the full mask.
I know, Robin. I was very surprised to hear the widespread domain of Santa's sainthood.
Yeah,
it's rather interesting, and that's not even half the list. Honestly, a quarter of the list is just locations.
Wow.
Aberdeen, Galway, Russia, Greece, Hellenic Navy, Liverpool, Moscow, Amsterdam. Like, that's not even all the places listed.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
He's also the patron saint of someone called a cooper. A person who makes wooden casks, barrels, or vats. I guess. I mean,
so he's got you covered on 2 points.
Well, I guess you may as well add it to the already impressive resume. I kind of want to know the story of how he became the patron saint of prostitutes, but I think we should move on from this topic.
Move on from Santa, you mean?
Maybe. I mean, look, Santa is going to be involved in a lot of these discussions because a lot of the comparisons loop back around.
Yeah, they do.
Like there was one. There was one story that was involved with Saint Nicholas. I'm trying to find it though. Continue on with.
Yeah, I want to talk about Krampus a little bit because Krampus was the one who dealt with the naughty children.
One of the ones, yes.
One of them, yeah. Krampus dealt with naughty children. So was it spankings? And I'm trying to remember, or it was stolen? Like he stole kids or something? I'm trying to remember.
Oh yes, he puts them in a bag, suspends them from a tree, and beats them with birch branches.
Wow. Specific. That's a specific kind of wood.
It is very specific. You're safe if you're not near any birch forests. Either that or you're going to be in a sack for a while.
Yeah. I don't remember. There was some creature that would like eat naughty children.
Maybe certain depictions of Krampus are said to eat children who have been especially naughty. But the depictions and stories of Krampus vary based on the region. Like Germanic stories of Krampus do involve him eating many of the children.
Yeah.
Like as many as he can eat before the sunrise, if I remember the legend correctly.
But I mean, like if you read the Germanic fairy tales and stuff too, they're pretty dark and pretty wicked. I mean, so I'm not surprised that the Krampus stories are any different. But Robin says, is Krampus Santa's brother? I don't remember.
That is a good question. I'm not seeing anything about that here, but like I said, there's a lot of different depictions of the story, so it would not surprise me. Keith says nope.
Nope. Keith just says nope.
Okay. Concise.
All right.
As far as Yule, winter, or Christmas spirits, there's also Jolakaturin. I'm probably not pronouncing that right.
Okay.
It's the Yule or Christmas cat. He is not nice. In fact, he might just eat you. His character is tied to an Icelandic tradition in which those who finished all of their work on time received new clothes for Christmas, while those who were lazy did not, although this was mainly a treat. To encourage children to work hard, parents told the tale of the Yule cat, saying that, and there's that pronunciation again I'm not going to attempt, could tell you who the lazy children were because they did not have at least one new item. Could tell who the lazy children were because they did not have at least one new item of clothing for Christmas. These children would be sacrificed to the Yule cat.
Okay, so a little reference to that one. I recently watched one of my favorite Christmas movies, and yes, I have favorite Christmas movies. The Chronicles of Christmas 1 and 2.
Okay.
Jolie the Yule cat is referenced in the second one. So you just called him Jolie.
Okay.
So that's probably easier than what you're trying to pronounce there.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
Like I'll spell it out, but I don't think I can even identify the symbols over the letters.
Okay.
JOLAKOTTURINN.
All right, Jolie it is. All right.
Jolie, yes. That's better than Jalaka.
Yeah, right. Lee wants to know about Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Well, it was a Christmas
movie.
They're
called Mogwai before they succumb to the curse. But beyond that,
movie.
Yes, beyond that, we don't know much about the Gremlins. I believe that they are corrupted elves who were cursed.
Corrupted elves who were cursed.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Is I does anyone have any Lee says the Christmas movies. He says he's told that he has a Yule buck in spirit at his place.
a Yule buck. That is not a tradition or spirit I have heard of.
Gremlins or Greys. I don't know what Greys have to do with Christmas, but
Let's see.
Yeah, does anyone have any like personal Christmas stories too? Go ahead.
I am still trying to locate the Christmas cryptid that Santa came and clobbered. I have not found it.
Okay.
But that is a story where
Okay.
Santa inflicted violence on someone.
Wow. I mean, I can see Kurt Russell Santa inflicting violence on someone.
Kurt Russell Santa.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell maybe one of my personal Christmas stories or holiday stories. I believe it was actually Thanksgiving. I had been tasked at my grandparents' house after my grandmother passed away, and she passed away in September, October. I don't remember exactly, but my mom asked me to set the table, and I had gone in and gotten out a tablecloth out of the buffet, and I just grabbed one and I put it on the table, and then I had to go do something else, take care of my grandfather or something, and I came back and there was a different one on the table. There was a different tablecloth on the table. And I'm like, and so I asked my mom, why did you switch it? Did I pick the wrong tablecloth? And she said, I haven't even gone in the dining room. And it was only the four of us there at that time. So I'm like, then why is the tablecloth switched? And she came in and she looked and she goes, oh, that was mom's favorite tablecloth. That's the one she wanted used. So my grandmother, after she died, switched the tablecloths on me.
Can't catch your break.
I know, right? Like my whole, she was very active for a long time after she passed. I mean, she was like in the house active. I saw her shoes walking down the stairs.
Wow.
So yeah, she was really active in the house. I don't know if you remember my grandparents' house in Stone Park. You were pretty little.
I don't think that I do. No.
Yeah. Yeah, she was right there, and yeah, my grandma was a strong spirit. She was definitely a force to deal with. She was she was a force to contend with for sure. Yeah.
I did find the one where Santa intervened.
Okay, let's hear it.
Pierre Foutard. The French legend of Pierre Foutard, whose name translates to Father Whipper, begins with an evil butcher who carved up children to eat. He or his wife lured 3 boys into his butcher shop, where he killed, chopped, and salted them. St. Nicholas came to the rescue, resurrected the boys, and took custody of the butcher. The captive butcher became St. Nicholas's servant, whose job it was to dispense punishment to bad children.
Interesting.
Maybe he was one of the Krampus replacements. Maybe it's a series of people who just earned the title Krampus, like the opposite of that Tim Allen movie.
Could be. Who knows? Wow. Yeah. And it's as long as we're bringing up ghost stories at Christmas. I a long time ago, like 30 plus years ago, went to a Christmas party where somebody pulled out a Ouija board.
Oh.
And yeah, it was actually pretty interesting because we kept getting a lot of gibberish. We kept getting and then every once in a while we get a mommy or a daddy or a papa or a mama or something like that. And what we realized in about 20 minutes time was that we had a whole bunch of children's spirits rising at Christmas. Like it was all kids that came through. So I thought that was interesting too. Some of the older kids were able to give us names, but we also got a lot of babies. Like we heard babies crying. We heard it was out in farmland. So, go back a couple hundred years and you've got a lot of people with babies freezing to death and whatever. And so, yeah, that was interesting with the Ouija board that we were getting children's spirits around Christmas. Like we were trying to get, actual people to talk to us, and most of them couldn't form sentences. It was just, a word here and there, which I thought was really interesting.
Keith says, what was the intent at the time?
Well, the intent was just to see who we could get to talk to us. So, and I think that also it was an older home, and my friends had just recently purchased it, and they wanted to talk to the previous owners.
Okay.
Because they had purchased it at an auction after the owners had passed. They wanted to ask questions about the house, I thought, because there was a couple weird things about the house that they wanted to ask questions about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep dropping things today.
That's okay.
I did find another Christmas cryptid.
Okay.
It's called Barbagazi. And if you've ever watched Adam Sandler's animated movie 8 Crazy Nights, he looks like Whitey Duvall. Just a short, stocky man covered in white fur. He looks like an albino gnome.
Interesting.
The myth of the winter Barbagazi comes from the French Alps on the border of modern-day Switzerland and France. The Barbagazi is a fairy or little person, in this case a type of dwarf or gnome. They are covered in white fur and have pointed ears and long white beard from which clumps of icicles hang, which is where they get their name, meaning frozen beards. But their most distinguishing feature is actually their insanely large feet. This creature is one of my absolute favorite mythical creatures, the person writing this, special to me for a number of reasons. It comes from the land of my ancestors. It is a friendly winter myth, a welcome change of pace from the usual. And it's my favorite it's my favorite pastime as one of... Okay, they wrote that sentence twice. Sorry. You see, the Barbagazi will use its large feet to actually ski down mountain slopes. It's just using its feet as skis. They have been known to surf avalanches. In their few interactions with people, they're usually kind. They help shepherds find lost sheep, and their whistles alert those in the mountains of avalanches. These little beings can tunnel into the snow, and during warmer months they live in a vast network of tunnels and caves within the mountains, only emerging when the weather turns cold. Some even say they hibernate through the summer. I've seen no speculations on the origin of this myth, but little people are imagined all over the world in different ways, especially in Europe. So it is not of any surprise to me that a group of people would invent a distinct cold weather mountain variety. And I'm not even kidding. I think I have a new character inspiration for D&D. I'm going to make a cold gnome.
That's awesome. I think you totally should. Yeah. Keith, I don't know if my friend's house, if the owners passed in the house or not. I don't know. And Lee brought up the Yeti. The Yeti, I was just watching something on Bigfoot, and they kind of listed a Yeti as a form of a Bigfoot, but I don't know. Is it?
It would make sense. You look all over the world and there are subspecies of ape and stuff like that that have, different physical traits, including different coloration. So it's not out of the question that there could be a subspecies out there, or at least a branching species. Right.
And we're going to have to get some Bigfoot experts on this show, because I've been watching a lot of different stuff about that. And I know it's a little off topic, but I'm going to go off topic. But, the whole idea that Bigfoot is actually an alien. or
Bigfoot is a Wookiee.
is a Wookiee.
He's also naturally blurry.
Yes, he is naturally blurry. There are no clear pictures of him. Or them. I mean, I'm sure that as many as they've been seen all over the world. So I'm sure there's more than one. But yeah, it's really interesting, like an interdimensional being. Like it can go through Haru. Okay, Lee, I want to know why you think the Yeti is not as intelligent. Because she said I think the Yeti is not as intelligent. So I'm a little bit curious about that. But yeah, there have been like they just seem to disappear. Like people shoot at them and they just disappear in a flash of light. And so there's a theory, and I don't know if anyone has ever proved anything, but there's a theory that they are interdimensional or space aliens, or I don't know. Yeti is more violent.
Yeti is also typically reportedly in more remote areas than a lot of Bigfoot sightings happen, or reported Bigfoot sightings.
They're more like in the snowy area, like
like high in the
right?
mountains in Nepal and Tibet.
Yeah.
Actually, Himalayas in Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. That's where there have been reported Yeti sightings.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is funny that you brought up the Yeti, because after the Barbagazi, the Yeti is literally the next one on the list.
Okay, let's hear about it.
The Yeti, whose name means snowman in Nepalese, is a creature said to hail from the Himalayas in Nepal, Bhutan, and Tibet. It is a tall, upright, ape-like creature. The Sherpa people of Nepal claim there's actually 3 types of these snowmen. One is the Mete, which is likely the creature we think of when we think of the classic Yeti. 3-meter tall, ape-like creature that walks upright, is covered in brown or white fur, and sometimes attacks humans. Its name means man-bear. There's also the Te'ima, a bipedal 1-meter tall ape-like creature who lives in the forests and valleys and has a light brown to reddish fur and long dangling arms. Finally, there's the largest, the Dzute, a creature of almost 8 feet tall with a terrible smell and is often seen walking on all 4s and is very dangerous. Most think the Yeti sightings are misidentifications of other animals, particularly bears, but others think that there may yet be an undiscovered large ape species lurking in the snowy mountains. The Dzute and Te'ima may very well be real animals. In fact, the Dzute is actually the Sherpa word for the Himalayan brown bear, and the Te'ima description matches that of the Assamese gibbon. I believe that gibbon, yes. Okay, so that's a type of ape or monkey. However, the true identity of the Mete, the man bear, the classic Yeti, is still unknown. Some think it not only is a real creature, but is the same creature as the classic North American Bigfoot. But that is one DeviantArt article. So,
all right. Keith is asking, so is Sasquatch the uncouth cousin of the Yeti? Oh, wait, terrible smell. He might be the hoity-toity cousin then.
I had to go to a different continent to get away from your stank.
Right.
But I do believe it is... Oh, go for it.
Oh, I was going to say Keith had another question, but go ahead with what you were saying.
I was going to introduce the commercial break, but we can open it up to the to one final question before that. Are you talking about the one about Odin?
Yeah, let's come back with that one.
Okay. Well, we'll come back after the break and answer that one.
Okay, sounds good. Hello?
Want to keep up with the latest at the station? How about catch up on your favorite shows on the go? Download the free WLTK-DB mobile app on the App Store and Google Play. Watch, listen, and shop right from the palm of your hand. The WLTK-DB mobile app. The truth is here and now. Get yours today.
Hi, welcome back, everyone. You are in the Paranormal Room with Logan and Christina, and you're listening to us on WLTK-DB.com. Let's Talk Radio. I want to put a plug in for that book that we just saw, The Haunted Voice.
Yes.
I just finished reading it.
How
Wow.
was it?
It's really good. It's really good. It is, I would say, it's an autobiography, but it's not a complete autobiography. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there, but yeah, it's a really, really good book. And I actually tonight I'm going to go on Amazon and put a review on because it's really good. I mean, how he came into connecting with the other side and some of the stuff that he went through in his life, and how some really good stuff. It's a really, really good book. I'm just going to say, if you have not ordered that book and read that book, I strongly recommend it. It's very, very good. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. I don't know if it's first. I haven't heard everybody's show because I don't have time to listen to everybody's show, but
Well, it's the first I'm hearing of it, so I'm
Okay.
assuming it's the first until proven
Okay.
otherwise.
All right, there you go. So, do we want to answer this question? Does Odin count when he makes snow blow into your windshield no matter the direction? I had not heard that before, so
I mean, Odin is kind of the Zeus of of Norse mythology in that a lot of the things that happen in the stories are directly his fault.
right.
So I mean, I would not put it past any deity to be petty about anything.
That's true. That's true. And meanwhile, I'm sipping tea from a mug the size of my head, so he says yes, I did. So he probably told me about that at some point, and I just don't remember hearing about it. But okay. That's interesting. I'd love to hear the story again because I don't remember it. About Odin blowing snow into a windshield. That's interesting.
Yeah, I like to think I'm fairly up on my Norse mythology. I don't recall that story. I'd be delighted to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, we have another Yule creature. I'm not going to try to even pronounce the original intended name in the language, but it translates to the Yule Lads. 13 Icelandic trolls who each have a name and distinct personality. I'm willing to bet they were the basis for the reindeer.
You think so?
I'm starting to think so, because it's already sounding like it.
All right.
I don't know, how many reindeer did Santa have?
8, I believe.
8? Well, simplifying numbers and all that. In ancient times, they stole things and caused trouble around Christmas time, so they were used to scare children into behaving like the Yule Cat. However, in the 20th century, brought tales of the benevolent Norwegian figure Julenis, Santa Claus, who brought gifts to good children. The tradition became mingled until the formerly devilish Yule lads became kind enough to leave gifts in the shoes of children, the shoes that children leave out. If I could speak English today, that'd be great.
Oh, go ahead and speak American. It's fine.
I struggle with that a lot of the time too.
8, but with Rudolph, it's 9. That's what I was thinking too. 8 reindeer, but with Rudolph, it's 9.
It still would not surprise me if the Yule lads were like the inspiration somewhat for the reindeer.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought that would be another interesting creature to add to the list. In the research that I did, there's a lot of like Inuit creatures and
Okay.
like North American tribe creatures. Like the Chinoo, the Inuit version of the Wendigo. Except it's larger and takes on sort of a humanoid orca whale type shape.
So we're talking like the Alaskan area then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A human being who committed cannibalism or refused to feed the starving caused the human's heart to freeze. Am I the only one hearing that?
Hearing what?
Okay, there's a playing every once in a while in the bottom of my screen. It was throwing me off. But this person changes into a Chinoo. Chinoos are giant compared to humans, described as man and beast. Chinoo is like a haggard, naked old man with wolfish eyes, and they have chunks of flesh missing where he has eaten his own flesh. So yeah, they're
Ew.
unpleasant. I'm right there with you, Lee. Nope.
I flipped over to private. Todd said LMAO. Damn.
Oh yes.
Kind of counterproductive to eat oneself, isn't it?
Generally, but you know, this is a creature driven mad by the magic of karma.
Okay.
I
You
don't
are
know.
finding some really interesting stuff here.
I tend to. There's also a legend from Japan of an ice dragon, which I just love the picture that they used. I wish I could share it. For the most part, ice dragons are a modern mythical creature, not really mentioned until the 20th century, and created only as a foil to the traditional fiery breathing dragon. But there is one myth that may count as an actual ice dragon legend. Yet another myth from Japan, the Kurokami, is a Shinto deity. The Shinto deities are Japanese dragons, with Kura meaning dark and Okami meaning water dragon patron. This white dragon is one of the gods associated with the valleys as opposed to the mountains, hence the dark in its name. This is the god of rain and snow. It is said that Kurakami and his siblings Takokami and Kuramitsuha were born of the blood that dripped from the hero in Izanagi's spear after he slew. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. The dragon god of fire.
Okay.
However, the temples to Kurokami and Takaokami almost always show them together, indicating they are either the same or indeed twins.
Actually, if you go down to the bottom of your screen, it says present.
Oh.
Click that. There's a share screen option. So we can maybe pull up that really cool picture. I think maybe. I don't know.
And I have hit share screen. There we are. That picture's pretty wicked.
Yeah, that picture is wicked. I like it. It's beautiful. All right. So we don't want to spend too much time on visuals because this is going to be turned into a podcast. So
but I do want to move on to Mary Louise, a Welsh tradition where people come in waving around this kind of puppet, and it's custom was first recorded in 1800, with subsequent accounts of it being produced in the early 20th century. According to these, Mary Louise was a tradition performed at Christmas time by groups of men who would accompany the horse on its travel around the local area. And although the makeup of such groups varied, they typically included an individual to carry the horse, a leader, and individuals dressed as stock characters such as Punch and Judy. Not really sure about that reference. Oh, it's a puppet show reference.
Yeah. You're too young
Gotcha.
to know Punch and Judy.
You know what? I'm learning stuff. I'm okay with that. The men would carry the Mary Louise to local houses where they would request entry through song. The householders would be expected to deny them entry, again through song. The two sides would continue their responses to one another in this manner. If the householders eventually relented, the team would be permitted to gain entry and be given food and drink. So basically, if you lose this rap battle with a ghost horse, we're going to drink all your beer.
Okay. That works.
I thought people would especially enjoy this one just because of how profoundly strange it is. But I love it.
Yeah, it's a horse skull.
I don't think that could take off in this country, though. I think people would be quite upset.
Oh, yeah. Oh, using a cattle skull. Contemporary Marie Louise using a cattle skull. Okay. But still, yeah, in this country, people would have a fit about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't the people in the house and the creature have to sing back and forth between them? Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah. That's what the rap battle is.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? I think in certain areas that might take off just for the freestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Robin says she likes the Christmas balls for eyes.
That was pretty great.
Yeah, the green eyes. That's pretty good. I was when I was reading that article about the Victorian thing, where people would get around and tell ghost stories. It was almost like how do you say it? It was like what we do for Halloween or on camping trips. We try to scare each other.
Yeah.
Right? With the stories. But that's what they would do on Christmas Eve. And then they'd send the kids to bed to wait for Santa Claus.
Yeah, go to sleep. We just told you a bunch of scary stories, and now you're actively listening for 2 reasons for things that go bump in the night.
Yes.
Have fun.
That's awesome. I know. Keeps the kids in bed. And Keith wants to know what a rap battle is. You want to take this one? Don't mind the monster under your bed. Good night.
Well, Keith, rap battles are what people most commonly associate as a modern concept, but it actually goes back to the time of Shakespeare, and even the Vikings engaged in rap battles, but the Vikings called it flitting, which is very, very similarly a rhyming battle. Like, you can't just rhyme that you're going to smash their head in. You got to be clever about it.
Yeah.
You got to be clever and insulting and witty. And it's largely regarded as an art form throughout history.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a roasting battle, but to rhythm.
Yes, to a specific rhythm, and the rhyming is very necessary.
Yeah. No, the Welsh War would have been one what?
Yeah, you got to complete your statements or questions. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that means. Yeah. So yeah, it's a verbal tossing back and forth of insults to rhythm, basically.
Yes, it's
but
a verbal fencing match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember seeing that like in an Eminem movie or something, where someone was trying to take down Eminem.
Yes, 8 Mile famously features the rap battle that kickstarted Marshall Mathers' career.
Yeah.
The Welsh skull would have been a rap battle. Oh, you knew what a rap battle was. Okay, I went on that whole historical exposition for nothing.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe somebody else wanted to hear that information.
The more you know.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, how's that for a flashback?
Oh yeah. Thanks. I just flashed back to your childhood.
Me too. Me too.
Wow.
Do we have any more, well, any stories from the audience?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering if you guys had any um so did the other dimensional cooker happen during Christmas? Oh, you mean at my old apartment. Okay. So
Dimensional
when we lived
cooker.
in Whitefish Bay, I was making, I think it was chili or something, like it was red and it was in a pot, right? So
Yeah.
um and I had the wooden spoon, and you know how small that kitchen was, right? It's like walk in, back out because you didn't have room to turn around.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was during Christmas. I do know it was during cold weather because I was making chili because I don't do that in the summer. So, but I'd stir the pot and then I would tap off the spoon and I'd set it on the thing on the stove, the spoon holder thing. And I turned around to do dishes or something, and then I turn around back around and it would be in the pot. The spoon would be back in the pot. And this went on a few times. And so I did it again and I turned around, but I was watching and I figured out that apartment is interdimensional. Like there's somebody else living in a different time frame, because whoever else that was stirring whatever pot of red stuff they were making. And they would leave the spoon in the pot. And it bothered me that the spoon was in the pot. So I'd tap it off and take it out. And then they put it back in again. That went on for about 20 minutes.
I think we discovered next week's subject, anomalies.
Anomalies?
Yeah, anomalies, because I've got a couple stories about one of my brothers where there was an item duplicated.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. So yeah, anomalies next week. I'm good with that. I'm totally good with anomalies for next week. That sounds like fun. So get your anomaly stories together, people.
Yes. Anything weird or strange happen.
Yeah, that you can't really place on anything or anyone in particular.
Right. Like haunting stories are separate. Well,
Mhm.
I'm going to say that right now because we spend a lot of time talking about stuff like that. But just any sort of anomalous happening that you happen to witness that you can't attribute to any one thing in particular.
You
It
mean
was
like a
just weird.
tear in the sky?
Like that, yeah. Or like that sorry, my brain is just not working. But like the duplication thing or the thing you were talking about
With the spoon,
with
yeah.
the spoon, yes.
Lee said they didn't have a spoon rest and was mad that the spoon was on the cooktop.
Clouds forming an upside down bowl, weather anomalies do count.
Yeah.
But given that we still don't fully understand our own meteorological system, that could be a very likely answer to that.
Yeah, it could be.
But that is for the next show. We're
Yeah,
still
that's for the
on
next show.
we're still on holiday weirdness over here. A different kind of weirdness.
All right, tell us about the weirdness.
Oh, you want that I need the weirdness. Here we go.
I keep feeling like I read something about goats or goat creatures.
Goat
with
creatures.
Christmas. With Christmas. I'm trying to remember what that was.
Wasn't that Krampus? The Yule goat.
The Yule goat. Krampus looks like a goat, but no, this was something else. It was about gosh, I don't remember. I read it like 3 days ago and now it's like gone. Oh, he's serious about the Yule goat.
Oh. Well,
We thought you
tell.
were messing around.
Please do tell.
Yes, please tell.
I found an interesting holiday cryptid, or a demon in this case, called Mahaha.
Okay.
Our next monster is another demon, though the death this one brings is a bit sillier. This is Mahaha. If you think that sounds like an evil laugh, maybe it is. The Mahaha is an Inuit myth, a thin but strong humanoid creature that is ice blue in color, cold to the touch, with hair that is long and frozen stiff. It is shirtless and barefoot as it is unbothered by the cold. An unnerving smile is plastered on its face, but the dangerous part of this monster is its long, bony fingers with long, sharp fingernails. The ice-cold Mahaha will tickle you to death.
All right, then.
No, really, its ice-cold victims are said to have died with their faces twisted into gruesome frozen smiles. Luckily for its victims, the Mahaha is quite foolish and easily tricked. If you encounter one, just ask it to have a drink with you at the water hole. When the Mahaha leans down to drink, push it into the water and watch it be swept away by the currents. So it's not very bright.
It's not very bright. All right, so
Jule booking is an American Christmas tradition of Scandinavian origin between Christmas and New Year's Day. People wearing masks and costumes, Jule bookers, go door to door and where neighbors receive them, attempting to identify who is under the disguise. In one version, people go from door to door singing Christmas songs. After they have sung, they are usually rewarded with candy. Another tradition requires that at least one person from the visited household join the band and continue to the next household. In certain aspects, the custom resembles the modern-day tradition of Halloween trick-or-treating. Jule bookers will often disguise their voices and body language to further the masquerade. Offering people holiday treats and something to drink is customary. Once identities are known and the food is eaten, the Jule bookers continue on to the next home. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Other than being out in this weather, that sounds like a fantastic time.
Well, Lee said the Murmurs, and I looked that up, but all I got was H.R. Puffin stuff and a song.
Carols in drag. Very nice.
Very nice. Well, that also sounds like the Christmas caroling thing. You know, you go singing at people's houses and they give you treats.
That is typically what was expected, though.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, it's a more popular tradition to tell them to piss off.
Yeah. I actually used to go Christmas caroling a long time ago.
I cannot imagine being dragged out in that.
We couldn't remember Christmas songs, so we started singing other stuff. All right, Lee, I could not find anything about the Murmurs.
The 12 Days of Christmas during Henry VIII. I believe that's what the Murmurs refers to.
Okay, so I'll look that up. So, you know, it's funny because I read a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. It just kind of went out the window.
I know how that feels. That happens to me every minute of every day.
Yeah. During Henry VIII. I'm not so fast typing on my phone. All right. The original 12 Days of Christmas were a series of religious feast days celebrated as part of the Roman Catholic religion. I'm still not coming up with anything. That would include that.
Yeah, if you have any more information on it, Lee.
Yeah.
Keith just came through with something. An old Christmas custom from England and Ireland. Murmuring is a version of its modern day form can be traced back to Newfoundland in the 19th century. Though it is unclear precisely what tradition was brought to Newfoundland by the English and Irish. When, not what. The earliest record...
Mummering.
Mummering.
Yeah.
Maybe that might have been a typo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some state that the tradition has brought to Newfoundland by the Irish immigrants from County Wexford. The tradition varied and continues to vary from community to community. Okay.
Okay, she said yes, that's what it was. Okay.
I'm still not clear on what the tradition is.
I'm not either.
Christmas time house visiting tradition practice in Newfoundland and Labrador. Parts of the United Kingdom, also known as Marine or Jannying. It typically involves a group of friends or family who dress in disguise, visit homes within their community or neighboring communities during the 12 days of Christmas. If the mummers are welcomed into a house, they often do a variety of informal performances that may include dance or music. Okay.
Mum's the word.
Mum's the word.
Thanks, Lee.
Well, we're about at the time of our show.
Yeah.
Or at the time to end the show. So
I think we're getting pretty close. So
if you don't mind, I have one last unsettling creature.
Awesome. Bring on the unsettled creatures.
All right.
Unsettling creatures.
The Knuckleave. The Knuckleave is the Knuckleave is a winter monster from the Orkney Islands, a creature that will surely send a chill up your bones. Said to be a type of demon, the Knuckleave, however you pronounce that, is trapped in the sea for most of the year by the Mither of the Sea, a powerful female spirit. But during the winter, the emerges from the watery depths. The beast has the appearance of a horse with the upper body of a man coming out of the middle of its back. The head of the man-like appendage is 3 times too big and rolls back and forth. Its arms are too long, and it drags on the ground. The legs of the creature have fin-like appendages, and the horse head has a gaping mouth and a single blood-red eye. The creature has no skin. All that can be seen on its surface is the powerful muscles and pale sinew, with black blood pulsing through yellow veins. The horse's mouth breathes a smelly, toxic vapor that causes crops to wilt and livestock and young folk to fall ill. And drought follows in its wake. It's so dangerous in that traditionally its name was hardly ever spoken, whispered only in hushed tones that were quickly followed up by a prayer. If you see the creature, it will pursue you, and the only way to escape it is to cross a running body of fresh water. As a creature of the sea and of sickness, it cannot stand fresh water.
He who shall not be named.
Yeah, right. A siren on LSD. I don't think that's what this is. I'm gonna go with no.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's very unsettling to look at. If viewer beware if you want to look it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's spelled Nuckleavee. So
yeah, I won't be looking that up, but thanks for the warning.
Search
thanks
or
for
beware.
The viewer warning.
But on that note, I do think it is time for us to end the video.
Yes. And again, if you want to attend my online spiritual channeling, look me up on my Facebook. Robin, I'm good.
I don't blame you.
Look it up on my Facebook or on my meetup page, One Spirit Connection meetup page. Awesome. Thank you, Lee. Thanks, Keith.
And you can find me
and Robin and whoever else joined us here tonight as I'm going back. And whoever else happens to be listening that didn't join in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
And you can find me on YouTube if you want to see me be mediocre at some games and get very angry at them. And also crack some jokes in the meantime. Then simply go to youtube.com and look up Turtle Island Gaming. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Have a great week, everybody. We will be talking about anomalies next week.
Exciting.
Yes. And I'm writing that down so I don't forget it. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.